Okay, welcome everyone to the Artisan School. We are excited to have Victor here today. Going to be going through Chopin 2025. Right? Is that
Yeah.
basically I'm like
Yeah, the International
I'm
Chopin
like
Competition
I'm actually
2025.
I'm actually really excited about this. I listened to it this morning at the gym as
Mhm.
much as I could, a couple hours. So I got a little bit of it like
Oh,
in
awesome.
my system. So I'm ready for you. Victor, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for
Yeah,
this. Let's
awesome.
take it
Well, here we go.
away.
You guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Let me go to the Kawai article that was written. So here's, can you guys see this? The Kawai article I'm on?
No, it's
I'm
showing
gonna
your
probably keep asking.
Gmail.
Okay, let's see. Start, share this tab. How about now?
There we go.
Okay, so this is a article Kawhi wrote going over what pianos were selected by the 40, not the finalists, but there's 40 people, and then they'll become finalists. So here we can see this year there were 24 people that chose the Steinway, 11, so over a quarter chose the Shigeru Kawai, 4 chose the Fazioli, and only 1 chose the Yamaha. So I don't know the exact numbers of the 2021 competition, but I do know there was only one person that chose the Shigeru, and I think it was only 1 or 2 people that chose the Fazioli. So um, obviously Steinway kind of always dominates what people select, but I will say it looks like for some reason Kawhi this year they really had a good turnout. And so in this article, they're talking about how, at the end of the day, this competition is very important to these competitors. And so they want to choose an instrument they know is reliable, that is easy to play. And so to me, this is kind of showing that Shigeru is kind of that they're comfortable with it. They like the way it feels, the way it sounds. So, I mean, we can just jump right in. We can start listening to a few. Let me see here. I'll start off with this is the guy that won. So and he played on a Fazioli. Last winner was also a Fazioli 4 years ago. So um, that's also a kind of big debate that the last 2 winners have been playing on Faziolis. But I mean, let's just have a listen and see what everybody thinks, and everybody can kind of talk about it. So let me go here. 1 second. 2341. I hope you guys don't hear the music in the background too much. All right, I'll stop it right there. Can everybody hear it okay so
Yeah, that
far?
was great.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm also trying to be really unbiased on like who's playing. Really, just trying to listen to the piano. Obviously, some people are going to play differently or whatever, but in this case, I'm trying to talk about it as not talking about the performer and how they're playing. But um, right away, um, I think the Fazioli is extremely clear. I don't know when we hear the other pianos. I don't know if it's the loudest or it has the most volume, but it's definitely very clear. And also when he starts off, let me see if I can go back real quick. What was the timestamp? It was 2341. I'm going to rewind a little bit. Here we go. And in the very beginning, he starts off with this big octave. And so Ramsey says that I think the scale design of this piano is so good because this is the largest production piano on the planet, right, at 10 feet. And as we know from like Virgil Smith or anybody that talks about inharmonicity, the larger the piano, the less you're gonna have to stretch those octaves. And I was telling this to Jake a little bit yesterday. I think on the Fazioli, the octaves that I hear are definitely the purest. Like they are just extremely pure, and I think that is because the instrument allows for it. And when we listen to some of the other recordings, you'll hear maybe a slight beat or a slight something more like what we're used to. But in this case, I will say the Fazioli, it is like extremely pure in all the intervals and everything like that. So let's go and let's listen to the next person on Steinway, the same piece. Fast forward. Okay, stop at the same spot. So I will say, I'm trying not to let the kind of these stereotypes of all of these pianos play into what I'm hearing. You know, Steinway, we usually say it's maybe it's warmer, it has more of like a growl. Fazioli, it's more European, it's going to be clear, things like that. But I really think that a lot of these characteristics do come out every time I listen to one of these pianos. So when I hear this piano, it's definitely sweeter, I think, has a little bit of warmer sound. The low end is a little bit fuller, even though it is shorter. And I was telling Jake that too. I find it really interesting how you would think, even though the Fazioli is the longest and has the longest bass strings, that it should be the fullest or have the best bass. But I still think that the Steinway has a really nice low end, very warm, very clear. Let's just jump straight to the Shigeru Kawai, and like we'll just listen to that one.
This is fascinating, by the way. This is so fun. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
hope
I
it
have a
sounds
side
okay.
hobby.
I hope. Uh-huh.
This is totally squirrel moment, right? But I love watching professional pianists or really any artist when they're
Yeah.
just in the zone. Their facial expressions are pretty funny, actually.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not anything against them. It's just for me. It's kind of like you can pause it at any moment, and it's not really the most flattering.
And it's not just pianists either. It's any performer can get that way. Absolutely.
Well, in the retreat, we
Yeah.
even talked about like what face do you make when you're tuning.
Yeah, we did. That's true. I did try to listen to these two with I would turn my screen off or like turn it away. So I'm just listening because I didn't want to like have any kind of uh, something influenced by what like the faces they're making or something. But here we go. Same piece. This is on the Shigeru. Okay, so even though I was saying just a second ago that Steinway we consider it to be the warmest, kind of sweetest, I actually think the Shigeru takes that. I think it has kind of the warmest, fullest kind of sound. But I'm interested in anybody hear anything different, or is there anything else you're hearing that I'm not?
I agree that the Fazioli seems to be much more clear and resonant from that perspective. I actually prefer the Kawai from a fullness and a resonance
Yeah.
standpoint. And I thought that while the Steinway was very warm, it almost felt muddy, even if it wasn't muddy. It didn't feel like you had as much clarity in
Yes, I
that.
think you're
That's how
100% true.
I think that's how I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could even hear it
Anybody
on the
else?
recording. I could even hear that on the recording. The clear is the word I'm hearing. Clear. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'll play. We're gonna watch more clips, but I will say I think the Steinway, I think it can open up the most, right? But can it? Is it like a controlled sound or is it a clear sound? And I think that's the debater.
The one thing
even
I
though it might
thought,
get louder.
the one thing I was thinking on the Kawai, that on the higher notes, it almost sounded that I don't know whether it's the piano itself or how they voiced it, seemed it was much more bright in comparison to the other two. So if you think about the brightness level, if the other two were sitting at a 7, I thought the Kawai was sitting more, 8, 8.5 on a brightness scale on that high end. But
Yes, actually, I did. I was thinking about that, but even though it is brighter, it's not piercing. Like I think if
no,
say the
I don't
Fazioli was
consider it
voiced the
harsh.
same.
I don't consider it harsh
hmm
or out of bounds. It just compared to the other two, I thought it was brighter.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where the Shigeru kind of has it's able to be bright but not piercing like maybe a Steinway would be, or maybe even the Fazioli. So it does open up, but it doesn't get distorted. I think like the Steinway will, like we might hear in a little bit. But is there anything else anybody wants to add?
I feel like the Fazioli and the Shigeru have a more blue, aqua, teal coloring to it, like a flavor, weird sound. I mean, that sounds weird. Whereas the Steinway has more of an orange red. And so that's
a coolness versus a warmth, or is
yeah,
it, or is it just not that
and how my body intakes that sound, and so I feel like even just listening to the player, they're not having to work as hard in the Fazioli or the Shigeru. But for me, that Steinway, the way it, like you said, it opens up, feels like there's a more of a space inside there to have some range. But I feel like the player is having to work for it a bit more.
Yes, and that's why I did kind of choose this. Again, even though I said I'm not going to let the performer influence it, this guy that I put pretty much on all the Steinway videos, yeah, he's really going for it, and you can tell. I think he's getting a lot more out of that piano than other people I heard, and that's kind of again, even though I was trying to be unbiased, I feel like he did get the best sound out of it, and I was trying to choose people that I thought got the best sound out of that piano. So. Well, yeah, let's just jump right talking about that. Let's jump to a piece that's a little crazier. It is the end of the Opus 28, the last piece, the 24th piece, which is kind of all over the place. It's pretty intense, but it ends on a huge it's 3 Fs, right, Ram? Fortissimo, low D. So, pretty cool. Let me see here real quick. 3518.
This is the note that pianists are allowed to actually play with their fist because they're trying to get the loudest sound possible. So there's a bunch of debate as to how to play that note. So some people they block the 2 outer notes, like they hold it down and then they go like that, and some people just with their fist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, they'll they'll push them down so they escape without letting the hammers hit the strings. And yeah, they kind of say that to really get as much as possible. Pretty cool. But here, this is the piece on the Fazioli. Yeah. So that last note, I will say the tone. There is like nothing in that. It is just pure sound. I think for sure the Fazioli is the tone or the quality of the string. I guess it is so pure because I don't hear any beats or anything. And of course, it's not like we're gonna hear beats on the other pianos, but I don't know. It's just to me, it's not as clear. But there are other characteristics, though. I think from the other pianos that I like maybe a little bit more. So let's just jump straight to the Shigeru.
Whenever I hear pianists doing this, I kind of like am like this because I'm like, ooh, is it gonna go out? Is it gonna go out of tune? What's gonna happen? Because they're just wailing on.
Exactly, and that's what I was telling Jake and Ram yesterday. That me and Jake were talking about the tuning. That whoever worked on these, obviously, extremely high level technicians for these pianos to stay. If you're looking at these timestamps, they're like 40, 50 minutes. They're playing for about an hour straight. All these people, and they're really going off on this piano. So
stability.
Yes,
stability is crazy.
Another thing I think of that is really interesting. These guys are fit. You burn like 20. Do you know they hooked heart monitors up to these guys, and they did studies on their heart rate and how many calories they burn. They can burn 2,400 calories in playing like less than an hour. That is so many calories, you guys. Like, you want to eat chocolate cake every day, be a concert pianist. My goodness. Like, oh my goodness, that's incredible. Like, sorry. I'm sorry. That just blew my mind. Just let me that's just so many calories.
That's why Ram's fit.
Oh, okay, I'm done. Let's keep going.
But no, but me and Ramses were talking about that one. Yes, it is the tuning and the technician, how good they, obviously tune that piano. But also, these are like, I think again, these are the best pianos in the world. So it is also due to the quality of the instrument. And I think the Shigeru held up just as good as any of the other pianos we heard. So or that they use. So again, another reason I think they're up there. But the same piece on the Kawai. Fast forward a little bit. I think it started a little too late. Oh, we're near the end. It's okay. awesome performance, and that was exactly what Ram was talking about. They use their fists at the very end, and
I like
obviously,
that technique. I really like that technique where they're using the fist as opposed to using the fingers.
Yeah, very cool. And Ram, did Deng Taisong, did he win when he competed back in, was it the 80s or the 70s?
I don't know actually. I'm not sure if he ever won.
Yeah, well, one of the jurors that's on this panel for this competition, he was kind of the first one to make that kind of famous, the fist. But it's pretty neat because he's there judging. But when I first heard this recording, the first thing I thought when I heard the very end was it sounds like a gong, like a fat cymbal, and I really like that, the tone of this one. I don't know, it's just like a nice. It's warm but like crisp, I think. I'll just rewind it a little bit.
I actually do prefer this one over the Fazioli.
Yeah, it just has more meat, I guess, but it's not like too growly like I think. I don't know, something about it. It just sounds like a gong that's just resonating, and it doesn't seem to die away. Like that sound is just it just keeps going.
Yeah.
You're
You're right. It does make you think of one of the gongs over in the Japan or Tibet or something like that, where they're have the huge bells and they are slinging the log against it and it's just ringing out. It does sound like that.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I thought of it. And is there anything else anybody caught with that?
I'm with Michael. I actually like that Shigeru over the Fazioli on this piece.
Yeah,
more meat.
It'll be interesting to see the comparison to the Steinway on this piece.
Yeah. Here we go. Am I still screen sharing? Can you guys see?
No,
Can you guys see the screen still or no?
It dropped again.
Let me see. Let me do that real quick.
Although, right, we heard just a little bit of, I think it was the Steinway, and already I was like, ooh, what's that? I like that.
Let's see. Let me try one more time. Can you guys see my screen or no?
It would be interesting if you have more examples.
It's showing the artisan screen.
Even if you have one more example of the three, it would be interesting to not screen share the next example and just play the sounds. And then just have everyone guess.
Blind test.
Not even like guess, but just kind of like hear which one is your favorite, 1, 2, or 3.
Well, I have a little. I think we could do a little something like that in a minute. I'll throw in something that maybe nobody's expecting.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Is your audio sharing, Victor?
Oh, can you guys not hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's because I think we're hearing the audio of the computer, not. You know what I mean? I think we're hearing the audio from Victor's computer playing rather than the audio coming through the.
That's what the meeting. It's coming through like the computer through the mic, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because I could just hear it very far away. Yeah.
Let me see. Also share tab audio. I think it's doing a little bit of both. Maybe if I turn my microphone off.
Okay.
Well, let me see. 1 second. Let me.
There, it has the icon next to it now. So.
Yeah. Well, here let's try it now. Let's see. Does it sound better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Rewind a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it's tough because I do think the Steinway and the Shigeru sounded much better on this piece than the Fazioli. I don't know. It's just I don't think the Fazioli kept up with these other ones, and I think David thinks the same. It looks like he enjoyed this one.
So I used to sing in band, and I would really watch different vocalists and what they do. And one of my friends, one of my bandmates, said that and it stuck with me. He said, listen to Robert Plant or Freddie Mercury, and when they get into that high partials, when they really project, there's almost a falsetto and a unnaturalness to it. But then if you go and listen to old Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, there's like a inner strength and rage to it that really comes through that makes it very real. And I feel like that's the case with the Steinway, is more of that, growl, that real natural, almost primalness to it. Whereas the Fazioli and the Shigeru have more of that refined falsetto-iness to it. For whatever reason, I keep on hearing that.
Wow, it's crazy you say it. I've never thought my degree is in opera and choir, and I've never thought of thinking of pianos like that. But now that I think about it, that's completely true. Now that I think about it, European pianos are definitely more of like what we would call like a lyrical tenor. Like their voice sits a little bit higher, so when they're singing higher, it doesn't sound so difficult for them. It just sounds a little more natural. But then if you listen to like one of my favorite tenors is John Vickers, but he's more of a baritone, so he's got a lower voice naturally. So when he's singing higher, I mean, he's really going for it. It has a lot more weight behind it, and yeah, it reminds me of like a Steinway. This has more presence the higher you get, compared to like a Fazioli where it's clear, and I guess that sound is easier. It's just not as full. So yeah, I think that's a great way to think about it.
So just for clarification, did we decide if this is a New York Steinway or a Hamburg Steinway?
So I know. Well, this is in Warsaw, Poland, right, Ram?
Right.
That's where this is happening. Yeah, and so I'm 99% sure they're using a Hamburg Steinway.
I would bet so.
Right? You can always.
I would too.
Yeah, you can always tell from the corners, but now doesn't New York also do rounded corners on the end of the keyboards? Yeah,
I think it's a Hamburg because of the treble. It actually has a more of a bell-like tone that I think is more indicative of the Hamburg Steinways than the New York ones. Seem to have a little bit of a hard time with this one. Seems either they prepped it super well or just organically, it being a Hamburg, it has a better treble.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure this is a Hamburg, and I do know you've said that Hamburg Steinways you would take one over a New York. So I don't know. All the pianos were prepped so well. I mean, it's hard to like say something bad about any of these. It is really just characteristics at this point. Is there anything else anybody noticed between the last two pieces we heard?
For some reason, I have nothing to back it up with. It just felt like the Steinway in this performance was much more rounded as far as even in its tonality spectrum from bass all the way up to treble and all the way back. So when they do those repeated runs, I just felt like overall the Steinway had a much more even profile, and then the others seemed to have a much more clarity in the treble, but then it kind of shifted as I went to the bass. So I thought there was a difference in the profile as it transitioned from high to low, is how I felt.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let me share this screen. And then I'm going to play a clip, and then I want everybody to make their guess on what piano it was. Let's see. I'll do this one. You guys can't see the YouTube video, right? Or can you?
Right now, it's just showing the links.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll just look away.
2236. Let me see. Here we go.
Is the sound from the tab? I think it's.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. You know, let me share the tab. Everybody, look away. Do not. Don't look. Here we go. Okay, I'll just stop it there. Okay, let me go back to the other page. Okay, here we go. All right. I guess we can start with. I'll go in order of who I see. Michael, what did you think that was?
I was thinking Fazioli, but I decided to go with Kawai with my final choice.
Okay, Kawai. Stacy, what do you think?
I also agree, Kawai. I don't think it's Fazioli. I don't think it's a Fazioli. Or maybe it's a Steinway.
David?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. David?
I think that's Yamaha.
Oh, okay. Wow, Jacob, let's see what Jacob says.
I don't know. Honestly, I was going to say it was the Steinway.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I mean, hands down, sounds great. Ram, what do you think?
Well, is it one of the three, or is there another piano?
I don't know.
If it's a trick question, then
yeah.
I mean,
okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I thought if it's from the three, I thought it was a Kawai. But now that David said that there's something else, I thought there was something else.
Yeah, so it was kind of a trick question. So it was the Yamaha, the CFX, the one person that chose to play on the CFX. David, you're insane. That's not even.
David, that's pretty awesome. You got the cool award. Wow.
It had a different color
He doesn't
to
like
it.
concert work. Yeah, it did. I would say it stood out a lot.
It's not fair. David has a CFX in his office, so.
That's true.
They took it back. They took it back and they gave me a C5X, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh gee, it's crying shame. It's a crying shame.
Oh man, how dare they, David? Yeah, but that's pretty impressive that you did catch that. But I will say it I think it does stand out from the rest. It is kind of different. I think I didn't spend a lot of time listening to it because I spent so much more time listening to everybody else, and there was only one person that played on the Yamaha. But today I was like, you know what? Let me listen to a little more of this, and I actually really like it. I think it resembles the Fazioli in clarity. It's extremely clear, but it has a great body and fullness to it that I think the Fazioli didn't have. What does everybody else think?
I feel like it's a blend of the Shigeru and a Bösendorfer. That's what I hear with the Yamaha. Because I mean, again, it's gonna have Bösendorfer European spruce soundboard. It's gonna have more of that. I think the felt that they use is different, and so that's what I heard. Is it kind of felt like a Bösendorfer, but with more of an Asian spin to it, and that's why I was like, oh, it's probably a Yamaha.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely caught that. You got that right on the head of the nail. Anything else anybody noticed?
See, the funny thing was I was thinking, because of the three, I'm like, okay, well, I'm hearing just a tiny bit of action sound, and of the three so far, the Steinway was the one that I keep hearing just a little bit of action sound, and so I'm like, okay, that it's got to be the Steinway. I don't know.
So an
That's
action
what I was
sound.
going.
What exactly? What are you hearing? Like, are you hearing like the core of the hammer, or are you hearing like click, like not clicking, but like what exactly are you hearing?
It's so tiny. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's got to be like whipping to, I don't know, but
I know
so
exactly
tiny.
what you're saying, Jake, because the very first clip when I was listening to the Steinway, I'm like, oh, he's working it. Like you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the engine.
You can hear it working. Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You hear that more the higher you go up, or where do you guys hear that the most?
Yeah, definitely like beginning, like not midsection, but just right after. So starting treble section.
Yeah, C5.
I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
I never thought about it, but when I'm at a concert and it's a high performance instrument, I enjoy that sound of the action. Because and that's the other way I can always tell, like if I'm listening to a recording, if it's a keyboard, if there's that action sound. But I actually like it. I like that sound of you can kind of hear it resetting. I mean, it's kind of true. Let me go back here. Well, I guess let's look at the. Let me share this real quick. Where am I at? Let me come back. Can you guys see my Gmail here?
No, it's still on the YouTube video.
Okay, here we go.
No,
so I was telling Jake yesterday, I cannot remember for the life of me where I saw this, but it was somebody comparing a Shigeru to a Steinway, the plate design, everything. I can't remember, but I looked into it today, and it is scarily similar. Like, first, we'll just look at the Fazioli because it's very different. Longer, obviously, 10 foot. A lot more. What are these? What do you call those, David? The holes in the plate.
Sound holes.
Yeah, a lot more sound holes. They have a lot of these little ones, and I mean they just have a bunch thrown everywhere. We can see here in the tenor section, the strings. It's just a continuous. The way they're strung, it's just continuing. There's no space like you would see in a Steinway. It has some that go up here and then it drops to down here. And let's go look at that. If we go to the Steinway, that's exactly what you can see up here. Those first few unisons, they come all the way up to the top, almost to where the bass strings hitch pins are. And then over here, it drops back down to continue the tenor section. And we can see if we count the portholes, or we're not going to, I mean, there's 3 on top, 3 on top, 3 in the middle, and then 2 here.
Did you call them portals? Is that what you called them?
Oh yeah, I said portholes. I call them that because in drums, like if there's holes in the heads, they're called portholes, and like it just reminds me of that. But okay, so let's go look at the Shigeru. There's 3 holes on top, 3 in the middle, 2 down there, and we have this tenor section that's strung up there on top. Let's come look at the Shigeru. Anything like similar? 3 holes on top, 3 right in the middle, 2 here in the treble section, tenor unisons up there. Now let's look at something else. Let's look here at the bass and let's look down here at the strut bars. So we're gonna have the ashtray, of course, and then up here about 15 unisons up, we're gonna have this strut here on the Shigeru. If we come over here, no strut coming right here, but it's pretty much the same thing coming horizontal. But if we go back, there is a space there, or like the teeth gap I see in like Steinways. This does have that. It's just being covered by this plate, by the plate there. And I did go and I counted every single unison in every single section, and there is the exact same amount of notes in every single section as the Shigeru to the Steinway. Exactly the same. And in the bass, I counted the bass. So how many single strings there are, then double, and then the tri. And it's exactly the same in both pianos. So exact same stringing pattern, everything. I mean, it is exactly the same. The plate looks exactly the same. I don't know if that's why they're share a lot of these same characteristics, but
You wonder if they, if due to Kawai's partnership with Steinway with the creation of the Boston pianos, if that has allowed them to maybe have some kind of design permission, something along these lines, because that is, they are partnered. Boston's basically a Kawai, with Steinway-esqueness to it. And so I wonder if there's certain, things there. That's interesting.
Yeah, actually, I didn't think about that. Any other comments about this?
You're right. They're eerily similar.
Yeah. Yeah, if this strut or this piece here was at an angle like Steinway, it would be pretty much the exact same piano. Now, of course, the Steinway D is 8'11" 3/4, and Shigeru SKEX is 9'1". But I'm guessing that the scale. Oh, okay, give me a sec. I'm guessing the scale is pretty close to the same though. Yeah, I don't know. There's not many different things I can see that are different about it. Give me one sec here. I need to get rid of this table.
Do you want this shirt?
Let me mute myself real quick, guys.
Victor, you just hit it out of the park with this presentation, I have to say.
Well, I hope everybody could hear everything okay, and you guys got a good
it was great.
Of each piano.
It worked out really good.
Yeah, let me see if I had any more. If there was anything else. I guess we could listen to. Would you guys mind listening to a few more videos?
I would like to hear your take on which performances of the ones that you reviewed that you enjoyed the most.
My favorite finalist was definitely David Kirakuli from Georgia, the country. He's the one that's playing the Steinway. It was pretty controversial. He didn't win. He didn't get any of the prizes, and it's pretty controversial this year because a lot of people thought he was going to be one of the. He was going to be a prize winner, but I don't know. I just really thought his performances were pretty raw, but technically everything was very proficient. I'm sure Ram has a lot more comments about that, though.
Yeah, I'm actually still watching it. I like to watch. Yeah, I like to watch every round, every single performer. So I'm still in the prelims. I looked at the final performances, and yeah, I do agree with the guy that took it, Eric Liu. But yeah, Victor and I were talking about how the last two winners were students of the same guy, Dang Tai's son. Who so that's pretty impressive that he taught both of the last winners. And definitely with the previous one, Bruce Liu. Yeah, I thought he was amazing. I'm still getting convinced by the guy that took it this year, but yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the more I listen to the first prize this year, yeah, I don't want to say anything back because obviously he played amazing, but I'm not sure performance-wise or I just maybe like some other people better. But I see why he won, I guess. But again, it is interesting he chose the Fazioli because I know
didn't he in the previous competition get
he's a Yamaha. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
He ended up fourth or something like that in the previous competition. He placed very high in the last competition, I thought.
Yeah, I think Ram would know. Is that true?
Yeah, he got a fourth. Yeah, he didn't get top three, but he did place in the last one.
Mm-hmm. And I know for sure in 2015 he used the Yamaha. I can't remember in 21 what he used, but I think it was the Yamaha as well. So it's interesting to see him switching over and how I think that the Yamaha, it does kind of share, like what David was saying, it does have a lot of those Busendorfer kind of characteristics, which I think kind of makes it a little more Fazioli-esque. So maybe that's why he chose to play on the Fazioli this year. But But yeah, let's listen to, I guess, one more example. The end of the third scherzo. We'll start off with the. I think I only had 2 examples of this one: the Shigeru and the Steinway. We'll listen to the Shigeru first. 48:15. Let me fast forward here. Can everybody see the YouTube?
Not yet. But when you play it, can you mute your mic, Victor? Because I think we get like a little echo.
Let me see. I'm just gonna hold my mic. Let me fast forward actually a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's a great sound from the Kawai. Again, I just think it's really full. It's just a really good sound. 1 second, there we go. And I guess we can just jump right into the next one. Let's listen to the same thing on the Steinway. 1620.
Well, I don't think the sound's coming through, Victor. I see the little icon on it, but I could only hear. It's because what I started doing is I started lowering your volume and then just hiring the. And so when I lowered your volume, it lowered the whole piano sound.
Oh, nice catch.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that last octave, I mean, it's so pure.
That's
I like that one
Yeah.
on the Steinway. I
I think I
that.
preferred the Steinway on that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Out of the entire competition, this was my favorite performance piece, everything on this piano. So
I love that
I don't
song.
know. It was just, I think
This
about
is the guy from Georgia, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. It's the way he played it. The piano just opened up so well, I think. I think much more than any other recording of the competition I heard. I don't know. It's just he got such a big sound out of it. And again, I know the piece allows that because it's all over the keyboard. I mean, it's up and down.
And
But
that's one thing
still,
you've demonstrated today across these different pieces is that each piano tends to produce better on certain pieces and not others. They are still good, but certain pianos like certain pieces and they're able to show themselves off in certain ways, which is fascinating.
yeah. No, I think, yeah, it's definitely true. And I think each performer, yeah, they definitely leaned into whatever piano they chose, I feel. and they kind of resembled the piano's characteristics. Because I think the first prize, he is a little more tamed, and I feel like a Fazioli sound is a little more tamed. And this guy is pretty crazy, but a Steinway is also kind of has a crazy sound. So, yeah. Anybody else notice anything about this recording or the last two?
I think the last one was my favorite of the Kawai sounds, though. I like that. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I have a sort of controversial take on everything. I think that, in my opinion, the Fazioli is the best out of everything for one reason. I think the Fazioli can produce more variants of color from what I could get. So like,
I think so.
So, and that gives the players more creative control, I guess, because you can combine more colors. And sure, you're not going to get the power or the growl of certain other ones like Hawaiian. But overall, like I could hear right from the first recording of the Fazioli that when they played like a fortissimo, it wasn't the same tone louder. It sounded like a whole completely different tone, almost like if they switched the hammer on the piano or something. And so I think that's why they choose it, because it's like behind the dynamic, they're also trying to show an emotion linked to it. It's not just the more power, more volume. It's like a quality of the dynamic. And so I think the Fazioli is more capable of showing that dynamic range going beyond sound and power, if that makes sense. So for me, the Fazioli took everything. Like nothing compared to it, even though, yes, in some pieces, like the Kawai was more impressive. But to me, it's like, what's going to give the pianist more colors to paint something? Yeah, that's what I got from the Fazioli. Like it was combining blues and reds, where the Kawai was, to me, was just like a lot of shades of blue, and the other one was a lot of shades of red. But that one was able to combine them. But that's just my take. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah, no. I think you're right. And I think that what you're saying is most evident when we listen to one of the concertos, because I do think the Fazioli was my favorite to listen to in the concerto setting, where you do hear all these different colors of all the different instruments, and I think the Fazioli really like plays off of that, because I think you're right. It has the broadest range of colors. So I'll just play like a small clip of the first prize playing. This is the last movement of the first concerto, Chopin. Let me see if everybody can kind of hear it, get a little taste of that. Yeah, it keeps going for a good while, but I think there you can really hear what Ryan is talking about. The piano resembles an orchestra in the amount of colors it has.
And and that's what I was gonna say. Like as far as color, like how we were talking about the tenor, or like the baritone being able to sing like the tenor, and but to me, like the Fazioli is more representative of a full choir, where like each section has its own sound, and whereas the Steinway to me sounds like they're all baritones singing, either high and low, which to some people they would like that, like they want that power behind the high sound. But to me, it's like, if you're up there and you're playing a fortissimo, I want it to cut through and to sound like sharp and super clear. And to me, the Fazioli is the only one that's doing that when they play a fortissimo in the high treble, I can hear it super clearly. Where the rest is just loud to me, or strong, but it doesn't have that crisp sound. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing.
I think so. Anybody else feel the same way?
Was that the only performance where there was other instruments involved?
No.
That we
let me see.
to today. That we've listened to so far.
Yeah,
that's the only one I can listen to so far.
Yeah. Yeah, they only used orchestra in the final round. But yeah, this is the only video so far that we've heard with orchestra.
Yeah, let me see what.
I just wonder how much of what I'm hearing is just liking I really like the sound of this, but I don't know how much of that is because the other instruments are filling in what I feel like I've lacked in the
That's
other
what I was thinking too.
That's
yeah. Now we can listen to one more. Do you guys want to listen to the Steinway or the Shigeru? For the concerto with the other instruments.
Let's go Steinway.
Okay. Let's do that. And it is
because I think it's going to have the bigger difference compared to the Kawai.
Yeah, 40-30. Let's see here. Yeah, so I think in this case, the Steinway sounded really calm compared to the other recordings of the Steinway we heard. But he was playing much quieter than in a lot of the other recordings. But I wonder what everybody else thinks.
I mean,
I feel like. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, to me, that one loud high note that he hit, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like it was, you could hear it clearly, but it seemed to me like kind of like frosted glass, or like it was just like not totally like clear. I don't know. And then with the Fazioli, like I can just, it like pierces through completely. Whereas here, like I can hear it, it's strong, but I don't know. I'm just, yeah, like I said,
I was gonna say the opposite, that it was kind of like that the Steinway was almost too clear and there wasn't like a growl to it, where the Fazioli adds a bit.
Yeah, well,
and it was just like you're saying, it was just kind of like, it was louder for sure, but it was kind of the same sound.
Yeah, I guess I'm not using the same terminology, but yes, it's that like the Fazioli, there was depth behind the high note, whereas that the Steinway was just like the high note loud. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I feel like the Fazioli played nicer, played well with the full orchestra, and that there was more of a in sync with the sound. I wasn't distracted by the piano itself. Whereas the Steinway one, at least the way it was coming through for me, I felt like I was watching the Chicago Bulls in the 90s and I'm only watching Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm hearing is the Steinway. And so I don't know what that is. I don't know if Steinways in general are more of not an accompany instrument, but more of a focal point. But the characteristics stood out way too much, so it drowned everything else out. I don't know. For me.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, this time we did kind of pull away. Like we were saying, the Fazioli sound, it resembles more of an orchestra with the colors, and it plays better. And yeah, the Steinway it kind of sticks out a little more from the other instruments. But yeah,
Victor,
I hope that was
so much. That was awesome.
I just want to say how much I love this, and especially how much I love you guys, because Oh my gosh, where else can we have a group of people geek out about this? This is so awesome. And this is what pianocraft is all about, right? We're just having fun. We're talking about pianos. This is awesome.
Yeah, I hope I got a good variety.
Thanks for taking the time to isolate everything out, getting the timestamps so you can jump to good representation. That takes a lot of work. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah, I hope I picked good pieces to try to like get a little bit of everything.
No, that was great sampling. Really good.
Yeah, well, but no, I had a blast listening to everything. This competition was, I feel the way they mic'd the piano, the pianos themselves, they were just so good. I mean, of course, the last competitions have been good, but these recordings are so good. Like, if you want to train your ear to listen to what a good piano sounds like, just go listen to any of these recordings. Yeah, honestly. And since we're on the topic of concert grandeur, quick, David, me and Stacy were talking. What is the easiest way, or what do you think about replacing on a Steinway D, one of the casters, the large casters? Is it best to replace the entire set, or is there a way to?
So you say if it's what I said.
Oh, is he frozen?
Unfortunately, goes out, it's time to replace them all. That's my approach.
Okay.
We do agree. We do agree. It's easier.
I mean, it's a $50,000 instrument. Why not?
It's a thing of you want it to be consistent. So if you have two older and one newer, and the newer one is the smoothest, you want all three to be equally smooth or equally bad, one of the two.
That makes sense. Yeah, well, I guess we'll just replace all of them then. Because that's true. If one starts going, the others are not too far off.
Yeah. Thank you, Victor.
Of course. Yeah. Again, I hope everybody enjoyed, and I can share the links if you guys want.
Yeah, definitely post that up for the folks to enjoy. Absolutely.
Okay. This one, sure. Yeah. Just so everybody.
Fun. Oh, sorry. This one, Stacy, would be fun to put on YouTube because I think this will get a lot of traffic because people want to know this kind of stuff. So, well done.
Yeah. I think good idea. Yeah. Just so everybody knows, in the links, before every performer's name, there's either an F, an ST, or an SK. So Fazioli, Steinway, and Shigeru Kawai. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll put that in the forum.
Thank you so much, Victor. That was wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah. I'm excited for Friday. Spooky stories. Awesome. Well, also, I'll share this stuff. Thank you guys for having me, and